Welcome to the 51st episode of ML Backstage. My name is Mars Luna, and we're introducing this podcast straight from the sixth dimension. This is a music commentary podcast hosted by Kainalu Kamai and Joshua are live in Hawaii. Wow. Well, you know what that means. Since Holokahiki Toves is 6 hours ahead, he will miss another episode. Anyway, I'm excited to announce my third final Voyage song, Galileo. Album season is on the way. Earthlings, grab your popcorn and let's get started. Back to planet Earth we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 51 of the ML Backstage podcast. I'm Joshua Luna. I'm live in Hawaii with one of my co-hosts, Kainalu Kamai over here.
What's up?
I am here in Hawaii for a week because it's my grandpa's 1 year anniversary of his passing this week, and I'm basically here with family, and you know what I'm saying. So I've been here for a couple days now, and you know had to link up with the brada because last time I was here I didn't get to see him, so. Glad we were able to make this work. To those who are watching for the first time, the ML Backstage podcast is basically a time capsule of kind of like a chronological order of the behind the scenes of my musical project, the name of Mars Luna, the space alien singer, cosmic prince of the sixth dimension, you know what I'm saying? And this year we're on this final Voyage run, which is the album that Mars Luna is set to release in August. Spoiler alert. So, and we just released the third and final single, Galileo. But before we do that, how you been, my boy?
Oh man, I've been busy.
Please elaborate.
Well, besides working nonstop every day, just picked up more of my DJing side, which is actually really good. I'm fortunate enough to be back playing on the decks again. So now every Friday at this new place called Eve Ala Moana, it's a nightclub that actually used to be the Vintage, or a really fancy speakeasy bar. And they turned it into a nightclub. So now every Fridays our crew is hosting a sort of a rave EDM themed club nights. So it's 3 stages of music. We're open from 10 to 4 in the morning. It's crazy. We got multiple DJs from all over the islands coming. So basically it's like a mini festival every Friday.
Jeez. And how's the cover charge?
Hey, if you don't make it, if you don't go on a guest list to get in free before 12, you're paying $40. And people actually do pay it. They'll pay the $40 just to come and watch their friends play for a couple hours.
You have what you call that? You're sharing a set with your new honey girl.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Not honey girl, but
proof.
It is a spotlight, bro. I hope she doesn't see this podcast.
Hopefully not.
No,
shout out to her, man. Shout out to her, man. I'm just making trouble to Nalu over here. But yeah. So back to back set with your friend.
Yep.
Right. And you've been DJing like more consistently since the beginning of the year, right?
It's actually pretty good now, because after COVID coming back from deployment, there was not much of anything going on, and just only DJ at home. And
right.
After that, it was hard just to get back to play at places.
Right.
So now I have the opportunity to expand, and especially a lot of the friends that I'm working with for this event. They wonder why I haven't really picked up my DJ, or why nobody has picked me up yet. But now they see my talent and everything. That's why they want to push me in to get back to the scene again.
Humble flex.
Yep.
Humble flex. Shout out to Stranded Pineapple. Check out his mixes on SoundCloud. But yeah. Holy crap. Like last month. So I recorded last month's episode before I left for Nashville. And I was there for about a week. And it surpassed all of my expectations. It was so green. It was very lush. And then coming back to Vegas after going to Nashville was a shock, and my body did not adjust to the dry heat at all, because it was going from like 89 degrees before I left to about high 90s, close to 100. So that's in Vegas. That's a big leap. And basically, I was there. I was there because, well, I mean, my mom went with me, and she enjoyed Nashville as well. I got to spend Mother's Day at this church called the Belonging Co. My church, Shadow Hills, we do a bunch of their songs now. So went to check that out. And I had a friend who used to go there for college because they have a college there, and I went to check that out. And basically, and I also the main reason why I went was because, you know, I was curious about it because it's like Music City and everything, and then and basically none of the boys really know this yet, but I went there to check out a school, and I went to check out the school called Belmont, and Belmont University is a school that's they're kind of known. It's kind of one of the top music schools in the world. So yeah, went to check that out. It was a beautiful campus, and it made me realize, hey, like I know what the next step is, like post Mars Luna, and God willing, I'll hope to be back in school next year. So Nashville, be on the lookout. We'll see, but yeah, that was the main reason I went. It was a great time, and you know what I'm saying. And that was how Nashville went. And a month later, I'm here now in Hawaii, just being with family, and yeah, it's weird because my grandpa passed. A year ago on Thursday, it'll be 1 year. Yeah. And I still remember, like, I recorded the episode with Moonji, and I got the call from my mom. And then it was just like, oh, Grandpa got no pulse, that's crazy work. And now, you know, it's just amazing to see, like, what, you know, going through the grief process can feel like, and processing those things like a year later. And, you know, it's cool to see, you know, how time can help with the grieving process. So, you know, so shout out, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, we're gonna talk about the latest Mars Luna song, Galileo. And Galileo is basically a song about the desire to reconnect with someone, but knowing that you're kind of light years away from it actually happening. And this has happened several times in, like, my love life, I guess, if you want to call it, because it's pretty much non-existent. But I've had, like, you know, near situations where it's like where I kind of let things slip away, and it was like, dang, like, is it when you have someone re-enter your mind like years later, and it's like, did the window pass? Like, is it too late? You know, so it's just kind of like the aspect of you realize that, oh man, like, I felt at home with this person, but now it may not happen anymore. And I mentioned, like, about a couple minutes ago about, like, how Nalu sharing this DJ set with this honey girl, and we talked to our other co-host Holokahiki Toves today, and and Holo and I were basically egging Nalu on about, like, hey man, you gotta get this girl's number, bruh. You know, she reached out to, because didn't she reach out to you?
Yeah, she did first. It was an open deck DJ night.
Yep. So
somehow, I don't know how she found my story, but it made it up in the Instagram somewhere.
Just random.
Just kind of random.
Random.
I don't know how she saw it, but hey, I'll take it.
It works. So we were trying to, like, you figure, like, okay, how has Kainalu been communicating with this girl or whatever, and then he told us that, like, and I think Holo was, like, instigating, like, well, yeah. did you get her number yet? And you're like, oh, you were talking to Instagram.
Majority of the time.
and it was just like, oh man, he's doing another back-to-back with her, gotta get her number, bro. But basically, like, Galileo is basically about going through situations like that where like did I like regretting missing the window, I guess, for a lack of a better term. And you know, there's a line in the song that says, "Are you still a text or call away? I hope I can meet you halfway." And that was like a recurring theme throughout that, because with girls it's tricky, right? Like you have to sometimes like they have an impression of you, but like once they're comfortable enough with who you are, and they realize, you know, Nalu ain't really like that, you know, Luna ain't really like that, you know, we'll just be friends.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, so that's kind of what the essence of Galileo was about. The desire to connect or reconnect with someone that, you know, that may have been like a lost window. Or what did I put on the Mars Luna thing? Desire, longing for someone that you miss, or longing for a desire to reconnect with a loved one again. So if you're single and you're looking for a girl out there, don't play yourself. Don't miss the window. Don't be like a Kainalu. Don't be me. If you see someone that's that might be a real one, go shoot your shot, like it says in rocket science. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of like the gist of Galileo. And since Galileo Galilei was, you know, the GOAT astronomer in the 1600s, to those who are studying astronomy and science right now, Galileo Galilei is who I named the song after. And now that I think about it, why did I name it Galileo? Because you know, it's about discovery or rediscovery, and Galileo is the first person that comes to my mind when it comes to discovery, and it also fits the intergalactic cosmic theme here. So Galileo. But Galileo brings me to a conversation about astronomy versus astrology. And there's a lot of I wouldn't say like, what is the word, like buzz or hoopla around astrology.
Yeah.
You hear conversations about it all the time, but basically, since Galileo centers around astronomy, to those who are listening on Spotify, we are recording in the garage right now, so we're able to see cars passing through and all that kind of stuff. Shout out to moms though for letting me use the crib. Currently in this is my ADD talking, but like we're currently in my mom's crib right now, hearing cars pass by as I have the garage door open. But anyway, back on topic with astronomy versus astrology. So, since Galileo is the GOAT astronomer, he discovered many moons such as Callisto and the rings of Saturn. You know, I see a lot of like social media profiles from like really spiritual people talking about like how, no, they're like cosmic beings and all that kind of stuff, when really there's you know, people use astrology to, I guess, like to not justify, but that kind of astrology to shape the decisions that they make and stuff like that, because astrology is a non-scientific practice that attributes, you know, influence and positions of like, you know, the stars and the moon and all that stuff, and how those things influence like things that happen here on Earth. And how I noticed like how some people kind of use astrology as you know, as kind of like a god of sorts, and they use like the universe as basically their god. But I view astrology as like a tool, right? And like how sometimes I think about like, oh, what is my zodiac sign, and you know, and you have like the personality traits and all that stuff. So I'm an Aquarius. Shout out the water, you know what I'm saying? And looking through the personality stuff, it makes sense, but I don't really use, you know, my zodiac sign to as like as something to avoid or evade accountability and all that kind of stuff. Nalu, you're
Team Virgo.
Virgo, right?
Let's go.
Virgo. When is the timeline for for Virgo?
I have to Google that, but I know it's within September and. Geez, what's
Let me Google that. Google that real quick.
But as a Virgo, I always like to read things about Virgo. I would say for me, 90% of times it is true in a way, but
Okay.
I like to use it as like an inspiration.
Okay.
And then at the same time, I could relate with other people who are Virgos and say, "Oh, we just understand."
There's a synergy.
It is.
I mean, case in point. Shout out to the homie Scott Yago.
Yes, that's my birthday twin.
Birthday
same day,
twin.
same year. Oh god, it's crazy. We know each
What
other.
what is the time though? What is it? Do you guys know what time you guys were born?
I think it was in the was it in the morning? I think we were both in the morning, something like that.
Something in the morning.
Something like that.
That's good. Yeah, that's like a weird thing that it happens once in a blue moon. So Virgo is associated with individuals born between August 23rd and September 22nd.
Yes, that's right.
It is an earth sign, known for its practicality, analytical mind, and attention to detail. Virgos are often depicted as perfectionists of the zodiac, striving for improvement in themselves and their surroundings.
Every damn day. Sadly.
And going into the Aquarius, since that's what I am, I actually don't know a whole lot about it, to be honest, because I don't really dig deep into astrology or the zodiac like that. Since Kainalu talked about being a Virgo, I'm an Aquarius since I was born in February. It's an air sign associated with people born from January 20th through February 18th. It is depicted as a person pouring water from a pitcher, representing the flow of knowledge and ideas. Aquarians are known for their progressive, independent, and humanitarian nature. I usually look at like the astrology stuff just for like personalities and stuff. Like, see, like, does that stuff actually align? And it does. It does 100%. And just and looking at like innovative and progressive, Aquarians are known for their forward-thinking ideas and desire for positive change. They value freedom and personal expression, often marching to the beat of their own drum, very much so. And they have a strong sense of social justice and a desire to help others. Facts.
Yes.
And so and one of the Virgo traits was that they were intellectual and analytical, and that's the same for Aquarius as well. But I think I see people use their zodiac sign. I see it mostly online though, as using their zodiac sign to justify their decisions, and they view that stuff pretty religiously, I would say. Mm-hmm. But for me, I think that this spiritualism or people or mystics and stuff like that. I've met a crap ton of them in Vegas, and they're all really cool people. I would say my boss said this word to describe them. It's like spiritual atheism, and I think that's pretty accurate, because it's like you're ascribing certain things to the universe, which we're in the universe, but it's not a god, and I've mentioned that in another video, and I think that's something that I'm kind of wary of, and I see that on social media. But like, hey man, like whatever works for you, do your thing. Versus astronomy, which Galileo is, and it's an actual science. That's a real study of the sun, the moon, the stars. It's like it's a study of those things themselves. So I think, as far as like where Mars Luna falls into that, the Galileo portion is just like, it's there's an actual usage of the scientific method, and Galileo was one of the proponents of the scientific method. So, there's some very preschool science lessons, if you will, and it's based on observations, experimentation, and actual mathematical calculations. So it's interesting. Like the universe itself is very vast, and there's a lot of things that we we'll never really get to know, because we're not astronauts or astronomers, but but we entertain hypotheticals a lot of the time. And Galileo, the Mars Luna single, is a song based on hypotheticals. So just kind of tying things in together, and basically and a lot of the visualizer for Galileo is on YouTube now, and if you look up Mars Luna, you'll find it being the first video on that YouTube channel. For all the Final Voyage singles, for Galileo to From With You to Roller Coaster, they were all I've used segments of Holokahiki's video from his Vegas vlog back in 2023. The more things change, the more they stay the same, and I came up with that title, by the way. I helped him come up with it, so there you go. But since the theme of Final Voyage is basically like visually old Vegas, and there's a theme of sentimentality there, I mean, the visuals themselves don't have any cue to the actual songs themselves, but Holo was here, not here. He was in Vegas in 2023 to shoot photos for Final Voyage. So if you look at the roller coaster photos, if you look at the With You photos, if you look at the Galileo photos, they were all within 2-day stretch, and they were all taken when Holo was in Vegas, and basically I remember there was during the Galileo portion, I was walking through one of the bridges on the Strip, and then there were these two showgirls. They was working, they was hustling, trying to get that bread. You know what I'm saying? And for some reason, like they spotted out Holo and I at in the bridge from, I don't know what casino it was. We were headed to the Excalibur, and then like I remember one of the showgirls, they were talking to us. They, excuse me, you want a picture? You want a picture with us? And Holo left me out to dry, bruh. Like, I thought that I'll say that Holo left me out to dry, bruh, because I thought that I was like, okay, like I don't get to do this. Like, I'm a local. I've been living in Vegas for 9 years at the time, since it was 2023, and I thought Holo was gonna, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this photo with these showgirls, and Holo's gonna get some photos too. I'll take some photos for him or whatever. And I was like, nah, bro. He was like, nah, just you, bro, just you. And he was making me laugh the whole time, bro. So I'll show. Let me pull up some pictures. I'm gonna try to find it real fast. I mean, I'll post it on the actual video on YouTube, but let me pull that up real quick. So, oh my gosh. And if you look at the Galileo visualizer, you'll see the conversation that I had with those two showgirls, and it was. Here we go. Oh, come on, load up, please. Load up. Yeah, it's not loading, but here. See that? Oh, there we go. I don't know if you can see it. It'll focus right there. I'll put the thing up right there.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one you showed us.
And during that time too, Holo and I went back to the hotel room that he was staying at in Santa Fe Station, and Holo met a guy while walking on the strip. It was a guy wearing overalls. He went commando, and he was like, "Go Balls," and I immediately knew what "Go Balls" meant, but it took a while for Holo to catch that. And I was filming like a little video on shortly after that, and I was like, filming the strip and seeing all the cars pass through the overpass and whatever, and Holo and I were talking about Go Balls conversation, and he didn't even know that I was recording it. And then I said, when we got back to the hotel room, I sent the video over to our group chat, and I told the boys, like, without knowing the context, what are we talking about here? And then you mentioned something about
what did I say?
You said something about like something about Papa Kolea, bro.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was like in 1 minute after I sent the video. It was like pounding poi or something in oh my gosh.
It was like uncle from Papa Kolea or something like that.
Yeah, it was like the uncle from Papa Kolea.
It just matched the setting. I don't know why I thought about Papa Kolea.
and we were like, Holo and I were like, it was in the drafts. It was like you probably had that in the drafts because I was in.
I probably did. I don't know.
I was in tears, bro. Like we were sitting in a hotel room, enjoying our Mexican food, and then like once you sent that text over, I was in tears, bro.
Where was I even at that day?
I don't know, dog.
I don't know how I came. It was just so fast too.
It was ridiculously fast, but I gotta find the video. I gotta find that video because that text it's in the vlog.
It's in there somewhere.
It was documented in Holo's video. The more things change, the more they stay the same, and that video was basically the final Voyage weekend. Like he was in Hawaii. He was in Las Vegas for that to visit me for the weekend because I think Holo was on his way to Hawaii to spend time with his family. So it was like it was like Vegas was on the way. Might as well just stop over for 2 days, and we made the most out of those 2 days. And I lost my voice on the second day, and I haven't fully got it back since. You know what I'm saying? But it was something to remember Final Voyage by when we get there. Hopefully next month's episode we can talk about that a little bit more. But that just a little plug. I wanted to bring up the video, Holo's video, because I could have brought that up the last 2 times when we did with you and with Roller Coaster, but I just never brought it up for some reason. But all right, so we reached for those who are watching the ML Backstage podcast for the first time. Question whether it's a philosophical question, whether it's a general question, whether it's a fun question, that summarizes the song or the EP or the album that I'll be talking about in this episode. Since this is Galileo, this is the third final Voyage single. The main crux of the song revolves around the phrase "Home for me is wherever you are," and I have used it for our song, for the Nalu's and I's song "Intergalactic Summer." But it was on Galileo first because I wrote it first, and so Nalu, have you heard this phrase? Finding home in a person.
Oh, and maybe I have heard of this phrase, or maybe in a different setting, but it generally does sound like the same.
So that is my question. My question to you, Nalu, and to the people who are watching and listening: is it possible to find a home in a person?
That is. Oh, is that me?
No, I would probably say, I'll give you time to think about your answer. I'll give you time to think about your answer, but I can't say it from personal experience, but I would say that if you're in a loving relationship with like a spouse, or or someone you're married with, or someone you're in a relationship with, or even have like a healthy family with, right? I would say that it is possible. I've never experienced it for myself, but I think it is possible, because if the phrase, finding a home in a person does not necessarily mean that like you worship them, or like you're placing them on this pedestal. It's more so like, I feel safe around this person, right? Like, say I feel safe around my girlfriend. Just a hypothetical, you know what I'm saying? Like, just an example. Like, why do I feel safe around her? Because, she makes me feel seen. I feel understood by her. You know what I'm saying? Like, all those examples. Just to me, like, finding a home in a person means that if you feel safe around them. You have the freedom to be your complete and full self around them without worrying about, without judgment, without feeling like you're afraid and all that kind of stuff. And I think it is possible. I just haven't experienced it for myself yet, but I believe it's possible, because I know who I am when I'm by myself, and I know I'm aware of, like, I'm very comfortable being by myself, and I could feel at home with my own company, but I can feel even more at home with the right person or with the right people. So I think it's possible. Nalu, what about you?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to agree with what Josh says. And I've actually experienced this in many, many different ways. Most likely more in, I would say, like, close friendships.
Yeah.
So, for example, I have a really close friend I have a girl best friend. Not a lot of people can say they can have girl best friends, guy best friends, but
right.
I've known her for over 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I'm the only guy she would trust, especially her mom mostly too, that she can feel safe around me with. Because we're both the same. We like photography, we like hiking, we like all that stuff too. And I guess just for me to hang out with her, she'd rather hang out with me than any other guy she's ever been with or knows, because she knows she trusts me a lot, and I respect her all bit of the way, and I can put up with all her craziness too.
Right.
But at the same time, that's when she always tells me, like, she feels a lot more like her day feels a lot more better if I hang out with her or
Right.
talk to her and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So yes, it's possible to find home in a person. It doesn't have to always be a relationship. It can always
Correct.
be like a friendship or someone you're comfortable with. Sometimes it could be family members. Sometimes it could be strangers. It could even be an animal or something you love to do too.
Right.
That could be another example.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, it's what you feel is something that you like the most to do or something you love. It's gonna give you that happiness, and it's always gonna be there for you. It could even be a home away from home as well too.
Right.
But there's a lot of examples, and just for me, personally, it's just close friends.
Didn't y'all go skating?
We did. And she got attacked by kids, and I felt bad for her. Yeah, she kind of got pissed off at them, but
And shout out,
it's hard.
going off of that note though, shout out to the homegirls out there. You know what I'm saying? Like having friendships with people of the opposite gender is clutch.
Yep.
It's clutch. So shout out to the platonic friendships out there, man. It's a lost art for sure. And I remember like having a conversation with the boys about like, I was like, dang, Nalu got options, bro. Because I thought
Dude, technically I do have options.
you know what I'm saying? But I thought like, like I was like, oh, they all hang out a lot or whatever, and it's like, I was like, is this a thing? But it's not a thing.
It's not a
apparently.
thing. I play it on the safe and respectable side.
Yeah,
And we both know.
I respect that. I respect that for sure. Shout out to the homegirl.
Yep.
And shout out to the honey girl too that I was about to play with on Friday. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. It's just to make fun with him. So, once again, thank you so much to everybody who have listened and made it through this whole episode. Watch it on YouTube or listen to it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to or watch podcasts. Really, to those who are new, I have episodes every single month. And since me, Kainalu, and our other best friend Holokahiki are separated by 6 hours, Holo would have. I asked him to, if he was down to FaceTime, but yeah, it's 12 o'clock at night.
We'll get off work.
And it's almost 8 o'clock here in Hawaii. It's like, nope. Yeah, no. Just get some rest, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we have episodes every single month, and we're in the thick of, album season, which is insane. Because Final Voyage, the last Mars Luna album, is dropping in August, and it's coming quick. Time is flying by really fast, and so I usually try to cover this next segment with what's next, like upcoming music. Yeah, album coming out in Final Voyage coming out in August 8th. You heard it here first.
Ooh.
August 8th. Or if you look through Mars Luna's Instagram, I have a whole schedule laid out. You know what I'm saying? No surprises over here. And so the next 2 months is basically album prep, getting the album ready, and also in July, I think I might have mentioned it either last episode or the episode before it that, I had a concrete plan with, what I wanted for Mars Luna, but there were some things that were kind of shifted around a little bit. Part of that is because I mentioned that I've been on my Kainalu Kamai era, playing every week for the most part at this place in Vegas called the Shag Room in the Virgin.
Shag.
And it's basically the only open mic in town with actual talent agencies and talent scouts there in attendance. And basically I was fooling around trying to find ways to perform the Final Voyage songs out there. But basically I Mars Luna through the Shag Room got basically joined a talent agency in Vegas and got my first corporate gig in July. So that meant that, okay, the Mars Luna name is gonna be extended for a little bit longer than I intended, just because, you know, they wanted the name. So I was like, okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of a foreshadowing. So it's a cover gig at the steakhouse, and I gotta dress up like super proper and everything. And it's not really like, you know, not like the Cosmic Prince Space Alien Singer type thing. It's kind of like a hybrid of sorts between Mars Luna and myself. So I have to learn like a bunch of cover songs, since I don't normally do covers like that anymore. So it's like 60 songs for 3-4 hours. Ooh. It's like oof.
Damn.
I'm not excited about it, but I mean, it's like, you know, you gotta get the bread. You know what I'm saying? So shout out one time to Buyer Entertainment, and you know, for the opportunity. And yeah, I don't know how many of those will be. I'm giving it a year, so it's like, so I gotta find a way to spread that out now. And yeah, that's next, and then the album in August, and then I'll probably give like another update video once Final Voyage is out, and just, you know, letting people know like what's the next steps from there and all that kind of stuff. And either way, it's gonna be, you know, I gotta buckle up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, once again, thank you so much to everyone who's listened to this podcast on their favorite podcast platform, on either Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or whether they watched the visuals on YouTube. Yeah, me and Kainalu and our best friend Holo, we do these episodes every month, and it's been a blast, honestly, and it's something that I've genuinely enjoyed. So keep up to date with it. You know, be on the lookout for the next episode next month. And follow the ML Backstage podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, and subscribe on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And you can also subscribe to Mars Luna on YouTube as well, and follow on Spotify and Apple Music. And you can follow Mars Luna on all the social media platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, @It's Mars Luna. And yeah, we're keeping ourselves busy in this you know, this final Mars Luna year. You feel me? So Nalu, where can people find you?
You can find me at
Oh.
Nah, that's not the right one, but
Hold on.
you can find me at this one. I don't know if you can see it, but at Nalu Photography.
Nalu Photography.
Have to low-key a promo of my favorite K-pop group. Sorry.
Okay. No, not the K-pop group. And speaking of K-pop, you have your Twitter and your TikTok too.
Yeah, you'll find me. I'm out there somewhere.
You can find Kainalu on Instagram at Nalu Photography, and Twitter and TikTok at Hawaiian Oppa. Yes.
Yeah, I'm up there. We'll get back to that username for another story.
Is there something we don't know?
No, it was when I was on deployment.
Oh, okay.
That was
Yeah.
technically why I made it.
That's right. And then I thought it was a new one. And I was like, what the heck? And then yeah. If you're in Hawaii, Kainalu DJ name Stranded Pineapple.
Stranded Pineapple, still going strong.
Stranded Pineapple. Got a set on Friday. Yeah, there was a bug. This Friday at where? Eve?
At Eve nightclub at Ala Moana.
Eve nightclub in Ala Moana with his friend.
Another friend.
With a friend,
Another
say.
friend.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her. You know, I'm not intending to, you know, point out anything with you. It's more so to roast him. So
yes.
But anyway, yeah, stay tuned for the next month's episode. Keep streaming Galileo on wherever you listen to music, on Spotify or Apple Music. Hold on to Galileo with you and Roller Coaster for now until the album drops in August. So, as always, as Mars Luna likes to say, embrace your odyssey and embrace the strange. Bye, guys.
Dream Mars Luna now.
Hey.
Do it now.
Yeah.
Stared at the sky like I'm Galileo, Ethan.
You wish you were the goat, my boy.
Suit yourselves. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this episode of the ML Backstage podcast. If you liked what you heard, follow us on Spotify and subscribe to us on Apple and YouTube at ML Backstage. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at It's Mars Luna. You can find all my music on Spotify and Apple Music and on my website at itsmarsluna.com. Stream and check out Galileo on all the streaming platforms. So it looks like next month we will start off the final Voyage series. And you already know there's gonna be a new episode.